Welcome to The Subject is Moot, where everything we discuss is debatable. I am Dom, and across from me is
Mike.
And a special thanks to Vinny and Quiz, the producers of the podcast. We want to hear from you, so write in your opinion, comments, or topics you want us to talk about.
I haven't seen Quiz in a while.
He's been around.
All right.
He does the editing.
I know. I haven't seen him.
I'll make sure he texts
Midnight
you.
editing nonsense. Whatever. Tell him I said hello.
Well, you could send any comments, questions, or topics you want to talk about to The Subject is Moot at yahoo.com. And we will bring them up during future shows. You can follow us on Twitter at TSIM_podcast, as well as Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. In the search bar, just type in The Subject is Moot or Dom Mike, and you'll find us. Behind the mics for episode 29. 29, Mike. Music Mike, are you ready to talk about a bunch of things?
As long as it's about music, yes.
It's always about music.
Sweet. Tweet.
Speaking of Sweetwater.
Yep.
They've been providing music instruments and pro audio since 1979. Excellent products, pricing, and customer service. They also have interest-free financing, free shipping to the lower 48 states, and exclusive free 2-year warranty, which comes with nearly every product they offer. They are located in the United States, Fort Wayne, Indiana. Call 800-222-4700 for sales assistance, technical questions, or advice. And go on to sweetwater.com to look at some great equipment.
Sweet equipment.
It is sweet.
I have a question about Sweetwater. What about those the upper 2 states? Those poor states can't get anything from Sweetwater?
Like I said, call 800-222-4700 for sales assistance, technical questions, or advice. So Mike, Music Mike. Actually, Mark is your replacement when you can't make it.
I thought so.
I slipped up there.
Okay, Drew, let's go.
April 13th. You know what that day is?
Record day? Record store day.
Are you looking at my notes?
You think this is my first tango of record store day?
Well, I mean, it's April 13th. How do you know it's not my birthday?
Because I know your birthday.
Oh, okay. How do you know it's not my great-great-great-grandmother's birthday?
It could be.
It is.
If it is, happy birthday to her.
It was. And it is, you're all right, record day.
Record store day.
Okay,
Damn it.
Record store day, which is getting busier and busier now that vinyl is back. It's back so much that, you know something, I will admit for the first time, I can't say live because this isn't live, but technically it's live. I feel like getting into vinyl.
It is fun. It's supposedly quality-wise the truest sound audio you're going to get, especially with your fancy headphones straight into the, your record player if you want.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to be outstanding. And if I didn't still want to stay with the CD format, I would have quite a collection of vinyl, and they're more expensive than CDs. Yeah, vinyl is definitely quite an expensive hobby, and I started, and I still dabble occasionally because I just love the jacket and especially something that has really good cover art. Can't beat it.
I don't mind the expense because I'm not looking to replace every CD that I have. Plus, I have a decent, actually I should say small, collection of vinyl from when I was a kid, as on display here. Some of them. Well, that's Kiss over there. I put Kiss on your side.
Yeah, I know. I was getting a little itchy.
So I have I don't know how it sounds though. I do have a turntable. It works. But the Audio Technica that I saw on Sweetwater was really, really nice.
Call Paul.
I will. In fact, they just had $50 off, and that is over. That sale is over. But that's okay.
Paul will honor it.
I'm not worried about that because I have a turntable already. But I would like to get the best of the best in my collection on vinyl, and that's not a lot. It's not a lot, but I would like to just sit down and listen to an album. Listen to what everybody talks about, how that's the clarity. Again, when I was listening to vinyl back in the 80s, I wasn't listening with headphones, listening for the little tiny things that people say that they've lost along the way.
Nuances.
With recording.
Right.
And compression and all this other stuff. So I would look forward to that.
My brother, he knows a lot about it.
I'm not saying that I'm going to do it because I don't have the time for it right now. If I do have the time, it's really not a lot to just sit there and say, I'm going to listen to this whole album or whatever. It's just, let me listen a half hour. Sit on the couch if I have a half hour to spare, throw the headphones on and listen. But I'm thinking that's something I may want to do in the future.
Well, hopefully, for your sake, someday 8-tracks will come back.
Speaking of 8-tracks, going through my music collection, it's not Dream Theater on 8-track, but it is Kiss Dynasty.
What a surprise. Surrounded. Figures, vinyl, even 8-tracks. God, I can't get away from it.
How do you know Gene's not going to come out of that door right over there? And
I wish you would. I'd love to meet him.
it would be cool.
I have nothing against them. I'm just not a big fan of their music.
I think you've...
I would ask him some business advice and how to make some money, that's for sure.
Well, you know what he would say? Be in a band like Kiss and just keep selling stuff.
Yep.
And you'll make money.
Merchandising.
Merch.
Merchandising.
Sell the merch. If you had a Mike army, or the subject is Moot army, you can make money.
Subject is Mike.
Are you going to go to any record store?
No, it gets crazy. The vinyl fanatics, they sleep out for some of the exclusives.
Really?
Believe it or not, yeah.
How crowded
I've
is
seen
vintage
it. It gets
vinyl
crazy, yeah. Double V gets crazy.
So what do they do there? What's the great...
Exclusives. It's all exclusive to that day. Like a lot of artists print exclusive vinyl for just record store day that you could only get. It's numbered, limited.
Really?
Yep. And
is it new artists? So Dream Theater's not going to put out an album?
they could.
Really? Billy
they
Joel?
could. It won't be a full length. It's not always like a brand new, a full length of brand new music. It could be like a 10-inch of like a single with maybe a B-side or 2 B-sides, or a live 10-inch, or a live full LP. You know, it's just all different things. It's all random. They could have different colors that are exclusive to that day. Like people like colored vinyl.
Mm-hmm.
Big exclusive
same 180
colors.
gram, a 200 gram. What are they?
Yeah, it could be. You know, it's just usually whatever it is exclusive to that day.
They'll print a certain amount, and whatever's...
And that's it.
That's it. Whatever goes, goes.
Yep.
I would assume it all goes.
Not always.
No?
No, because it depends on the popularity of the artist.
Well, I don't think Zamfir is putting out there, you know...
I think he has a pan flute vinyl coming out on Record Store Day.
I've never been. I see a lot of it on Instagram, a lot of advertising.
Yeah, it's big. Well, I mean, I don't know how big it is. For a block of years, it was very big. I'm not sure if people are still sleeping out nowadays, but I haven't.
With vinyl as big as it is now, I mean, turntables, they're selling like crazy.
But vinyl is a lot easier to come by now too, because you know any music distributor is carrying it. If you can go on any websites, and even Barnes and Noble has more than they're ever going to sell.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'd like to take a look. I don't know if I'll be around that day, but I'd like to go there. Speaking of record stores, we will be shooting a podcast from there soon. Jack's in Red Bank. Jack's Music Shop in Red Bank.
Yep, our second one.
Yeah.
That was fun the first time.
It was fun.
Yeah, it was cool.
It was fun. They want us to come back. They're looking forward to it, and I like to get more of the customers and the crowd involved. It was a good time there.
Yep.
And they're good people.
We should try to get it done before the summer, because I know it gets hectic around that area in the summertime.
It's, you know what, as soon as the sun comes out, that place is hectic.
Such a cool place to hang out.
It's awesome. It really is good. And it's fun to be down there. It's a great place. It's very...
cool atmosphere. The whole area. Not just Jack's. Plus Jack's is awesome too, but...
You got a young crowd that likes going down there, and you got the older crowd.
And good food.
Great food, top to bottom.
It's the stash, right?
Secret Stash right across the street from Jack's.
Yep.
So any locals, we will definitely be posting that on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter.
Tweets.
For when we will be going out to Jack's Music Shop to record the podcast, so we can get everybody who wants to get involved to just come sit down and talk to us. And let's just talk music. It would be fun.
Yeah, definitely.
So a few shows ago, we put a question out there: who would represent New Jersey better, Bruce Springsteen or Bon Jovi? And we had some feedback. And majority of the people picked Bruce, but there were a handful of people who picked Bon Jovi, and I think it's just more of a popularity thing that they like Bon Jovi better than... They didn't really give answers why, but...
Just short answer?
It was just short answer. It was just John Bon Jovi. It was Bon Jovi, or they would send me a picture of Bon Jovi. So that was my clue that was their answer. But
do they know you have a room dedicated to posters of Bon Jovi?
Okay, listen. Let's just, for the record, strike that. Okay.
All right.
Do I really have that?
You told me to strike it.
Do I really have a room that's dedicated to Bon?
No, it's
Bon
Taylor
Jovi?
Swift.
Well, it's Taylor Swift. She's a lot prettier than John. But
Is
overall,
she?
overall, I will say that
Some people may argue that, especially 80s John.
overall,
The makeup and
you done?
the hair.
And the hair.
No,
Okay.
I'm done.
Overall, though, I'm going to disagree, and you know that it's Bruce Springsteen all the way, top to bottom, band-wise, music-wise, lyric-wise. It's just out of the gate. In every category that you could think musically, Bon Jovi exceeds by far over. I'm sorry, Bruce Springsteen. Sorry. Over Bon Jovi, no question. So the subject is moot on that one, but not for me. There was also some feedback for a question that we had for Best Frontman. And Clem from New Jersey,
Hey, Clem.
he wrote in, Best Frontman, remember we're there for the music and not the acrobatics. And a frontman will fire up the crowd with getting crowd participation, etc. Think Mick Jagger. Just watching him overall. Watching Dave in his spandex doesn't fire me up.
Oh, so that was a response to me picking Roth.
Pretty much, yeah. You picked Roth.
Thanks for writing in, Clem.
Absolutely.
Giving us your opinion. Yeah, I mean, listen, again, it's everyone's opinion who their favorite frontman is. I mean, Roth riles the crowd up. I don't want to, completely disagree with him because Jagger's a great frontman with his chicken strut and all that nonsense. But I mean, I'm not a big Stones fan either, but I recognize their importance to rock music, obviously. But I don't know. Yeah, he wore spandex and big deal. I mean, he still was as good of a singer as Jagger was at the time, at his peak. And as far as a frontman goes, he fired the crowd up and got the crowd into it and to participate. I'm sure. I've never been to a Van Halen show in during that era when they were at their height. I wish I could be transformed back to that day because I'd probably be the number one show I would pick. But I mean, it's everyone's opinion. So I'm glad he wrote in and voiced his opinion and disagree. I like a little back and forth once in a while. But I still think that I'm still going to stick with my vote as Roth. He epitomizes what the frontman is because he kind of did it all. He was able to sing good, he put on a good stage show and got the crowd into it.
Look, it could be a generation thing. I definitely respect Clem's opinion on what he's saying here. I mean, Mick Jagger, you can't deny how many decades? Almost 5 decades of music, maybe not putting out new music now, but
it's also
still,
the fact that the Stones really they're able to still perform because, I don't know, in my opinion, they were kind of flat. There was never really a punch in their music that they couldn't do it.
That's a bold statement.
Yeah, that's my opinion, though. Because Roth can't sing what he used to sing anymore. He can't go out there and scream and do his show like he used to do anymore. But the Stones strutting around like a chicken on stage and singing Satisfaction isn't that difficult at 25, and it's not going to be that difficult at 75. It's just the way I feel about it. You know what I'm saying? Certain bands can't last, like Rush, hitting those high notes and still playing.
So let's think about this, though, for a second. You're obviously not thinking about the age of 75 when you're 25. But as a fan, wouldn't you want to be able to say, hey, yeah, I'll see them at 75 years old? Wouldn't you want? So if Roth is not singing as good as he was.
There's no doubt about it.
Right.
I completely agree with you.
And he can't jump around.
And that's where I'm going to give the Stones credit because they're still doing it.
They're still doing it. So, all right, so maybe they didn't do it to the extent of him jumping up and down and doing flips and stuff like that on the stage. But at the same time, they're still putting out the same quality that they put out quality then. Now, I don't mean quality in that you don't like them. I'm saying quality.
No, I agree.
I mean, look, the Stones are the Stones.
That's it. That's how I feel.
Like them or not.
They're the Stones.
They're
legendary.
Exactly. One of the history's biggest rock bands ever.
Right.
Okay, and you can't deny them.
But call like it is. The reason they're able to perform their music nowadays just as good is because it was what it was. There's really no way to put there's really no way to specify what I'm saying, but you kind of get it, right? You get
No,
what I'm like. Certain bands like Dream Theater are not going to be able to do what they do at 75, and
No.
that's disappointing to me. You don't think I've thought about that?
And Tate doesn't sound like he did back then. It's
Right.
now. It's not.
Exactly.
He's not even 75.
And
but
I've known people who've seen McCartney and paid tons of money to see McCartney on nights where he wasn't that good, and they kind of walk away disappointed because he's 80 years old.
okay, but even bands even when they're in their 40s, 50s, and 60s, they have a bad night.
Right, but there's some. But listen, there was. How about Sinatra?
Oh, I saw him.
Still
Okay,
right.
I saw him in his
Night after night.
No, but I saw him way after his prime. He
Right.
was forgetting the words, but I said I saw him.
To me, that's not good enough. That's
No.
how I look at it. Especially that
Okay,
you're
but-
paying hundreds and hundreds of dollars to see these
Thank God
legends.
but thank God I got those tickets for free. Okay,
That's good.
So maybe I would have a different opinion.
Right.
But I at least got to say that I saw Frank. He was forgetting his words, but he was up there, and that was probably one of his last shows.
You're going to get a split decision on that, too, I think, about how there's probably not split. I think more people will agree with you. At least I got to see that artist.
Sure, but
no
I'd rather
matter
see,
how good or bad they were.
but I couldn't see him in his prime.
No, I'm just saying, like, if you ask the question,
Yeah.
Would you be okay with seeing an aging artist well past their prime for hundreds of dollars and then go see them and then be atrocious that night?
Right, and it
Would
depends.
you be cool walking away and saying, well, you know what? At least I saw them.
I'm kind of picky,
So-
and I'm kind of picky on who would I see right now. I'd have to know
Right.
what they really sounded like,
Right.
and I don't want to go see a band who's going to be sloppy. And I don't think if you go see the Stones, you're going to get that.
You're not.
They're in the pocket. They stay in the pocket, I think. And is it because their music is not that flashy? Well, no, it's not progressive. It's not.
Well, no.
But it's
Right.
regular 3-chord rock, and it's good.
No, it's great.
Yeah.
It's the Stones. It's
right.
the Stones.
But what
dude.
I'm saying is, it's
because
they're not going to. It's not going to sway too much left or right. They're going to be right in there,
right
in the
there.
lane.
Right.
So, I would definitely go see the Stones. I would definitely go see the Stones because I don't think they're going to put on a bad show.
No, they're not. There's no way. You're going to get what you get. You're
Right.
going to get the Stones. I know people who didn't go, who had the opportunity to go see McCartney because they did not want to see him if he wasn't going to be good. Because you don't want your final impression of an artist who you love and look up to, who could it could be his last tour. You don't know.
So let me ask you this now: Would you
I love McCartney.
would still go see Van Halen with Roth playing?
No, I didn't.
To me, he goes off.
Yep.
He goes way out.
If it was Hagar, hell
Oh,
yes.
Hagar's a different story.
100% I'd be there.
That guy will stay in the pocket. He's there for the fans, and he is.
Well, he can still perform too.
He
could still hit his notes and
Mhm.
sing the way he sang.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure he'd have some bad nights, especially if he's doing a full year of touring.
Sure.
But
Listen, a bad day at the office. We all have them. No
Yep.
doubt about it.
Yeah.
But I would probably go see Van Halen to say that I saw them with Roth
I've seen him with
and
Roth.
have that objectiveness, I guess, is that the word that I'm looking for, to say, well, look, this is them past their prime. But I wanted to just really go see Eddie play because Eddie will, I think, put on a good show, and so will Alex.
What's crazy about that is when I finally got to see them together with Roth, obviously Michael Anthony wasn't there, the very first time they got back together, I bought tickets for both night, I think at the Meadowlands. Eddie was atrocious, and Roth was pretty good.
Now it'll be the other way
Fast
around.
forward a few years later, they took a break, got back together, toured, and it was the other way around. Eddie cleaned himself up, got healthy, got his playing back in order. Eddie was amazing. For the reason being that I was there to see Eddie.
What year was
more.
that?
I'm not sure years.
So 90s?
No.
Later?
2000s, way
Oh,
later.
okay. So he's been clean since.
Yeah, well, I'm saying clean himself up as far as got healthier.
Oh, no, I know.
And then also got back into playing more. I
Mhm.
think when they first went on tour, they just went out as a cash grab because Roth was back for the first time since '84, and it was just like everyone was buying tickets for those shows because it was, it wasn't the original four, but it was Eddie, Alex, Dave, and Wolfgang.
Who's playing bass for them now? Are they touring at all?
No.
No, they're done?
Yeah, there's a lot of talk that Michael Anthony's going to be invited back to the Loop, but this is all talk.
That would be fun. Well, I think Wolfgang is doing his own thing now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I think he's
if they're
even
not-
gone on record by saying that Michael Anthony belongs in Van Halen.
Oh, that would be great.
Yes, it would be. There was actually some talk, too.
With
I don't know if Hagar mentioned that the best way to really do it is to do a tour with Hagar and Roth where they split the night. That would be outstanding.
That would be. I wouldn't have a problem with that.
No, neither would I. I mean, Roth is supposedly not very good anymore, but he's still fun to watch. And, if you're there for Eddie.
I'm there for Eddie.
It's still tough, though, to listen to Roth sometimes squeak through those songs from what I heard. I don't even look it up on YouTube, but I've heard from people who went to shows.
Hands down, I'd go see Hagar right now. Right now, with no question. And that would be one hell of a show.
It's tough to watch your band's age, and yeah, you think about it down the road. Can these certain bands pull off what they're playing now in 30 years or 40 years? But
who's thinking that far down the road?
You don't. Let
me ask you a question.
You got to live in the moment of the music.
What's the big deal, though? Like, why can't you? Look, they get old.
Plus, let me ask you a question.
I can't play what I used to play at the level I was able to play it when I was a kid, and I just accepted that.
So we'll just use Dream Theater as a for instance. I'm moving along with them in their career. I've been following them almost since the beginning when Dream and Day Unite. I'm not going to a Dream Theater show when I'm 80, even if they were playing.
That's
you know
my
what
point.
I'm saying? So I don't care.
So if they're 70 and you saw them play and they were sloppy, what are you going to do? You're going to go home and cry?
But I'm not going to go to a concert when I'm 70. More than likely, I'm not.
But what I'm saying is, let's just say...
I may go home and cry.
They got to be... I think Rudis, aren't they in their 60s?
No.
Rudis, how old is Rudis?
I don't know how old Rudis is, but the other guys aren't.
All right, I'm going to look that up while we take a commercial break. Do we have any commercials?
No one sponsors us.
I'll sponsor you, Mike. So let's look up Jordan Rudis.
He's probably 55.
Jordan Rudis. The luck of the internet. I mean, let's see.
Should say right on the side there how old he is.
Okay, how old?
55?
62.
62?
Yes, that's why I knew it. I read that somewhere once before.
Jordan Good for him, man.
Born in 1956.
Wow.
All right, so let's go. Let's talk about your
Johnny
boys.
Petrucci?
Johnny Petrucci.
I'll say Petrucci is 50.
Are you kidding me?
Shut up with your face.
No.
Look at those beautiful guitars, man. That just came up on you.
Yeah.
Woo, majesties.
How much do you think... I was always curious to know. They don't just go into music, like Guitar Center and wherever, and pick the most expensive guitar off the shelf and play that. Although they could, and it'll sound good. Are their instruments made totally different than what we buy in the stores? And how much would they really be worth if John was to sell his actual guitar? Not because it was his and he played it.
Well, at least with Music Man and Ernie Ball, I think they try their best to make it as close as they can, especially that they're American made. The mass-produced stuff, like a Satriani or a Vi model or...
Pause. Petrucci's 51.
I was close.
I was shocked.
I was close.
I'm a little shocked at that.
Labrie may be a little bit older. I would say Labrie maybe like 55. But I think my young Petrucci, Mangini may be a little bit older too. My young and Petrucci are probably the same age.
So what do you think they're worth?
His real model?
Labrie is 55.
Nailed it.
Yeah, his real. Like
I think a bit more, but I think.
Let's say you're an artist. You're an artist, and you're sponsored by Music Man, right? Ernie Ball's making you guitars. How much is it really worth, value-wise?
I don't think it's worth much more than what they're putting out.
Really, I'm saying, like, how much is the quality that much better? Is it really a different wood? Or is it?
I think they make it to his specifications, exactly to what he wants, because he is he's an endorser, or endorsee, whatever.
He's the endorsee.
But then what they'll do is they'll take his specs and
52 Mayo.
John Mayo. He's 1 year older. And they'll try to replicate it to as best as they can. Now, I don't know if Ibanez makes, like, say, a gem right in front of Steve Vai while he's there, picking out the wood and the finish and all of that.
Yeah, I was always wondering if their guitars are completely made.
I don't think so.
I mean, made completely different than.
I don't think, like, if you go out and buy.
You could buy an Ernie Ball for $900, or you can buy one for $4,000.
Well,
so what the
Majesties? I don't think there is a Majesty on the market under $2,500, or under $2,000 at least. I don't believe, unless you're buying the Sterlings.
Right, look at the bongos. that John Mayung plays. They're $2,200, $2,500.
Right.
Do you really think his are worth $2,500? I think there's got to be more. It's got to be better quality, different pickups.
Well, again, you're mass producing.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it's a little bit more money, but
These are
for a
custom made.
company like Ernie Ball and Music Man being American made and taking tremendous pride in what they put out, especially that, Mayung and Petrucci are humble, down-to-earth type of guys. They're not going to want to just put their name on any piece of garbage either, to mass produce. I'm not saying anyone else would either, because, dude, if you buy a Slash Les Paul, you're talking $6-7 grand.
Yeah, that's a lot of money, right?
Yeah, that's
my
lot
point.
of money. So, plus, these artists, too, they're not going to, I don't think any of them, even like Slash or the bigger names, are not going to put their name on garbage. They're just not.
No, I'm not saying that they're garbage. I'm just curious to know how much better are the ones that they play.
Right. Yet Eddie's models are less expensive than a lot of these other guitars.
Less expensive?
You can buy like an Eddie, a Frankenstein replica for like $900.
Well,
but then you can buy a true Frankenstein replica.
Oh yeah.
Like with all the blemishes and stuff from like his '80s playing for $24,000.
Well, didn't Satriani have a model with that mirror on it for 10 or 20?
I think you could buy the Chrome Boy.
Yeah.
I think they have it for $5 now.
Wow.
They had a few Universe, different color Steve Ibanez Universe for like $7,000. Certain paint schemes, 3 different paint schemes that were beautiful, but $7,000. Who was buying them? Because people have money out there.
I'm sure a multi-millionaire is not going to buy a $300 guitar.
If Strandberg is listening, I'd love to play your guitars. You could send me one.
Yeah, sure. Send one.
Send me one.
Yeah. And Mr. Strandberg is saying, "Hey guys,
a
wrap
Bowden.
up one. Yeah, wrap it up now. Send it in."
A Bowden 6, preferably with tremolo. But if it doesn't have one, I'm not going to complain. Blue,
I wouldn't.
preferably blue.
But
I'll take any color.
You don't even put your tremolos in there now. You don't play them.
Shut up, you fudge. Yes, I do. I've been putting them in.
And really? So okay? Because
yeah.
I always thought you were like afraid to throw it out
for years
of whack.
for years I didn't use it because I was trying to develop a good vibrato and not rely on it. Just to bend the strings. But now using them lightly for just slight effect, not crazy like Vi picking up my guitar with my tremolo.
Because you can't play like Vi.
I can't. But I also don't have a guitar tech who could fix it for me if I break it or strings break and
Or
stuff.
call up Ibanez and say, "Hey, can you give me another 2, 3?
Yeah, please.
Send me another 2 or 3."
Right.
All right, Mike. It's time for your artist of the podcast. So
It's that time already.
it is. Time flies when you're blowing so much hot air.
Yeah, I know. I'm always excited about my artist of the podcast. Guess what it's going to be?
A
guitar
guitarist?
player.
Instrumentalist?
Yes. The young man out of Minnesota. Cool guy. I've chatted with him once in a while on Instagram, believe it or not. On the Instagram. His name is Alex Mayers. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Sorry, Alex, if I didn't. Maiers. And you can find him on Bandcamp. He had put an album out a few months ago called Sonic Chef's Circus Absurdities, and it is fantastic. This kid is really, really talented. It's not about a shred fest either. It kind of reminds me of a modern-day Passion and Warfare because it has a lot to offer. It's quirky. It's not, there's some acoustic passages in there. He's a very talented young man, and he has really cool stuff on Instagram too, on YouTube, where he does like some covers and whatnot, and he mixes things up. He's a fun kid. He's got a great sense of humor, and he's a great player.
Why, he does stand-up too?
He could. He probably could do stand-up.
Mm.
Yeah. But the record is a lot of fun. It's got a lot to offer, and I think people should check it out if you're into guitar playing, and if you're not,
check it out anyway.
Check it out anyway because he's a good guy.
All right then. Well, a show wouldn't be a show without an artist of the podcast. So
true.
Time to wrap this up. We want to hear from you, so write in your opinion, comments, or topics you want us to talk about too. The subject is moot@yahoo.com, and we will bring them up during future shows. You could follow us on Twitter at TSIM_podcast, as well as Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. In the search bar, just type in the subject is Moot or Dom Mike, and you'll find us. For now, I am Dom, and across from me is
Mike, and we are